evening, good afternoon, good morning, class. Hopefully you have had a wonderful rest after our last lesson. Today is a very exciting day. I'm going to be teaching you all you need to know about pronunciation, how to pronounce difficult and easy English words. All I want to do today is to go over some words and sounds and phrases in English that many of you might find a little difficult to understand or difficult to pronounce. So, let's start with a classic example, shall we? There's a very famous film in English called My Fair Lady, and it's based on a book or a story called Pygmalion. In that story, a Cockney girl has to learn how to speak and act like a noblewoman or aristocrat. Essentially, she must learn etiquette and how to appear wealthy. Something she uses, a phrase she learns with, is the following. The rain in Spain falls mainly in the plain. Meaning, in Spain it usually rains in grassy plains. The rain in Spain falls mainly in the plain, highlighting the AI letters which make the sound A. Rain, Spain, mainly in the plain. What I'd like you to try and do is see if you can practice this, because there are a few difficult parts of this as well. TH. I know many of you will struggle with a TH sound because many languages don't use TH. Th. You must make a sound like this. Th. 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 If you don't know how, try to stick out your tongue just a little bit and then close your teeth gently around it. Try to very gently close your teeth on your tongue and then push air out. The rain in Spain falls mainly in the plain. Misa, thank you very much for the Aku Super. Thank you very much for the suggestion. This was an excellent idea, and I'm very excited to teach everyone some pronunciation today. Thank you. Now, I have a list of very satisfying tongue twisters for us to practice with. You see, a tongue twister, if you don't know the English term, is simply a sentence that is tricky to say. So let's try. Here are some classics. Let's think about the sh sound made by bringing your teeth together, pursing your lips a little. Sh, sh. She sells seashells on the sea shore. Now, in English, the spelling of a word doesn't always tell you how to pronounce it. Many people who are native will pronounce words very wrong sometimes. So when you are practicing, whether you are at home or if if you are visiting an English country, don't worry. Just try your best. In the word sea, meaning ocean, the EA makes an E sound, but the E in cells just makes an E sound. She, think about sh, 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 sh. She sells seashells on the seashore. Purse your lips a little. Shh, 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 shh. Teeth together, lips pursed. She sells seashells on the seashore. S, s, s. For a S sound, bring your tongue, the tip of your tongue, to the top of your mouth near the front. Top of your mouth near the front. S, s, s. She sells seashells on the seashore. If you're getting confident, what we like to do is try and say it 3 times fast. She sells seashells on the seashore. She sells See? Even I can't do it Even I can't do it 3 times fast. She sells seashells on the seashore. She sells seashells on the seashore. She sells seashells on the seashore. And so on. But the value of those shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells when there's loads on the sand. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Well done. One more time, nice and slow. She sells seashells on the seashore. Lips in a sort of, like you're going to kiss someone. Lips out, like this. Teeth together. She, sh, 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 sh. She sells seashells on the seashore. Now, this microphone doesn't have a pop filter, so I have to be careful with this one. Peter Piper picked a peck of, thank you Google Docs, pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter, P-E-P-T-E-R. Confusing, right? Usually, ER is pronounced almost like this. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. You see? In American pronunciation, you would say Peter. We are learning the Queen's English. Okay? Peter. Peter Piper picked a. Peter. Peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a 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 peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a... See, that's wasn't so bad. Now this is a fun one. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy. Y-E, E sound, fuzzy, wuzzy, was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Very confusing, right? Bear, E-A, is sound, bear, bear. But hair with the AI is also Remember, learning pronunciation can't really be done through spelling because English is annoying and confusing. Don't worry, just take your time and learn from experience. Nothing can teach you more than visiting an English country and listening to the people around you and letting them help. Bear hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Was he? Tenses. Wuzzy sounds the same as was he. Was he? Past tense. Was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy, fuzzy was he? It is confusing. The joke is that Wuzzy and was he sound the same, but if I was to pronounce it slowly, I would say Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Very clever. Remember, whether you're listening to this to go to sleep tonight, or whether you're staying to try and learn something, either way, remember, even if you're still learning, even if you don't fully understand English, it's okay to join the chat and it's okay to speak, even if you're not entirely confident. Don't be nervous. If you have a question, if you would like me to talk about any particular word or phrase or sound, just ask and I will do my best, okay? Now let's go through the ch sound. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Let's break it down. Would and could. You see this? O-U-L-D. Confusing. Why? I don't know either. Would is pronounced like would, and could is pronounced could. But this doesn't mean wood from a tree. It means would do something. I would do that. I could do that. I could do that. Okay? Hello, Vanta. Where is he? Thank you for the raid. Come on in. I'm teaching everyone a little bit of English pronunciation. Thank you very much for the gifted as well. So, Yukimi, thank you for the super. I'll get to your question right after this, okay? So, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Ch, 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 chi, chi, pa, chi, pa, chi, pa, pa, ch, ch, ch. If you don't know how, like sh, but sh, ch, ch, ch. It's a harder sound, sort of more pointy than sh, ch, ch. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Wood means wood from a tree, but would means I would or it would. So we are asking how much wood a woodchuck is able to chuck, meaning throw. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? If a woodchuck was able to throw wood, how much would it throw? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Simple, right? No, it's hard, but well done. Thank you, Mary Lively, for the 5 gifted. Thank you very much. And Yukimi, I have a question. Unlike American English, British English doesn't often pronounce the R sound. How do you distinguish it from L? Right. So it's a point of a lot of discussion. And interestingly, my dad used to think that the difficulty around L and R sounds was only a stereotype. But it is true that in English, R, or, R, pronounced like R, R, For example, we are, faster, 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 F-A-S-T-E-R, faster, right? Or, is just or. A, E, O. A, E, O. A, E, O. That's a little joke for some of you. A, E, O. Right? Now, in American English, you might say R, or. In American, the R is much more rolled and pronounced. R, or. Are you going faster or slower? Are you rushing or are you dragging? So, L versus R. Versus R. Perhaps I should use some katakana to explain this to... Let me see if I can get some... 르. See? So, in Romaji, R is usually associated with 르 at the end of, let's say, and then eru, right? L, on the other hand, they have distinct sounds, but in English, this is where spelling really matters. Eru, aru. Yukimi, thank you. I was wondering how best to display that. Aru. And then eru. Now the L sound, I understand, for some languages is quite difficult. So to pronounce an L, la 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 la, la 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 la. Place the tip of the tongue between your teeth at the top of your mouth, la 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 la. And try to widen your tongue to have it cover the roof of your mouth. La 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 la. La, 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 la. Thank you for the super. Glad to be helpful to you today. I hope you can learn something. Arigato. La, la, la. In English, the spelling of R and L is never mixed up. If you see this, an R, aru, it is never pronounced eru, L, L. Vice versa, if you see the letter L, it is never pronounced R, aru. It is always L, L, L. For example, we're, short contraction, abbreviation of we are, we're. Remember what we said? For the R, it's more like an A or A sound. We're. But then, how about wheel? We're, wheel. L, wheel, wheel, wheel. L. You see the R, we're. You see the L, wheel. Weird. That's a good word. Weird. Weird. We, 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 weird. Wheel, we, l, wheel, wheel. Sentence? Okay. That wheel is looking rather weird. That wheel is looking rather weird. That wheel is looking rather weird. So, usually ER is but at the start of a word, the R can mean like a dog. You see? Rather. R and R, but this is ra and this is Let's talk more about that. Ra, would be r. You hear the r, ra, ra, ra. But when r comes after a vowel, ra, ra, the, as opposed to L, which is always L. Ladle, like a soup spoon. Ladle, same sound. Ladle, ladle, ladle. You understand so far? Do you need help? Anything I can do to slow down or give you a hand? Just let me know. Rar. Rar. Ra. Yes. No worries. Thank you. Okay. Let's try something else now. Let's give this a try. What's the tongue placement for the R? R, r. You want your tongue ra on the bottom of your mouth, right? R. Tongue on the bottom of your mouth with the tip of your tongue rising up. Curve the tongue up and purse your lips closed. Ra, ra. Ra, 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 ra. Jewelry, jewelry. J, 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 j. Ji, jo. Ju, er, I. Jewelry, jewelry, jewel. Re. Ju, L, re. Jewelry. 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 Now where did those tongue twisters go? There we are. Now let's try something more satisfying. Betty Botter. Name. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but the butter Betty bought was bitter, so Betty bought a better butter, and the better butter Betty bought was better than the bitter butter Betty bought before. This is a very confusing sentence, but it's easy to understand when you understand the basics. Betty Botter. That's a name. Betty Botter. Bought a. Bought. Purchase. Buy. Betty Botter bought. Past tense of buy. Bought. Purchased. Bought a bit, a small amount of butter. We all know what butter is. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter. Betty Botter purchased a small amount of butter. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter. But, however, but the butter Betty bought was bitter. Bitter. Tastes bitter, has a bitter taste. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but the butter Betty bought was bitter. So, Betty bought a better butter, improved, higher quality, better butter, and the better butter Betty bought was better than the bitter butter Betty bought before. The better butter Betty bought was better than the bitter butter Betty bought before. Betty bought. Let's talk about bought. Bought. B-O-U-G-H-T. The G-H silent. You do not pronounce the G-H. Silent. So really it's bought. B-O-U-T. Bought. B, it's pronounced like B-O-R-T. Bought. Bought. B-B-B-B. Or, T, 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 T. Bought, 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 bought. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter. B-et-e, bought a, bought a bit of butter. But the bet-e bought was bit so bet-e bought a better butter, and the better butter Betty bought was better than the bitter butter Betty bought before. I'll try it fast. This is one of my favourite tongue twisters. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but the butter Betty bought was bitter, so Betty bought a better butter, and the better butter Betty bought was better than the bitter butter Betty bought before. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but the butter Betty bought was bitter, so Betty bought a better butter, and the better butter Betty bought was better than the bitter butter Betty bought before. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but the butter Betty bought was bitter, so Betty bought a better butter, and the better butter Betty bought was better than the... Oh, it's so close, one more time. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but the butter Betty bought was bitter, so Betty bought a better butter, and the better butter Betty bought was better than the bitter butter Betty bought before. I can do one more time. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but the butter Betty bought was bitter, so Betty bought a better butter, and the better butter Betty bought was better. Why? Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but the Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but the butter Betty bought was bitter, so Betty bought a better butter, and the better butter Betty bought was better than the better butter Betty bought before. There we go. So you learning don't have to do that. That was just a little trick I wanted to do because I thought you would like it. Even if you speak slowly, even if you struggle, even if things feel difficult, it's okay to speak slowly. It's okay to take your time because you will learn with time. Okay? As it turns out, there are many people who live in England who don't speak as much English as native English people, and that's okay. Everyone learns at their own pace, and it's okay to be learning as well. So this is my dad's favourite tongue twister. Red lorry, yellow lorry. In English, a lorry is a truck, so a big vehicle for hauling. A lorry. Yellow and red are colours. Red and yellow. Yellow. So this is not ow, it's not yellow, it is low. Yellow. Yell-o. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Very simple, but when said fast, it's quite hard. The difficulty is with L and R. Lorry, lorry, lorry. Red lorry, yellow lorry. To practice your L and R sounds, remember R, ah, ah, ah. Red lorry, yellow lorry. R-r-r-r-r-r. R-r-r-r-r-r-r. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Lorry, yellow lorry. Red lorry, yellow lorry. See, this one is hard even for me, but if you practice, it's a good way to learn. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. Yellow lorry. Red lorry, yellow lorry, 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 red lorry, blah, blah, blah. And there I've lost it and my tongue is twisted. So try this one at home. It's very easy to learn. It's only 4 words. Red lorry, yellow lorry, lorry, la. Thank you very much for the super. I have a question, Sensei. How can you pronounce really and the can in can I? I understand them, but I struggle to pronounce them myself. Okay. That's okay. If you're Japanese, I think that really is a difficult word, but it's not impossible. Really, in katakana, I believe, would be riri, like this, I believe, riri. But in English, l. It's all about mastering the L sound, which, from what I am to understand, riari, I see. Thank you. More like this. Riari. Thank you for correcting me. Arigato. So, really, riari. This is already very close. Instead of saying ri, ri, it's ra. Try and growl like a dog. You can do that for me, can't you? Can you growl like a dog? Really. As long as you can say re, like that, then you can pronounce it just fine. Re. Well done. Re, li. Remember we talked about the L sound. La. Tip of your tongue between your teeth. Re, la. Stick your tongue between your teeth. La. La. So, la. Stretch your tongue out to the sides of your mouth. Hold it between your teeth. La. If you're struggling and your tongue wants to go backwards, just hold it gently with your teeth. La. So, really. Riari, re, li. Really. And then you also asked, can I? Can I? This is very easy. You can do this. I know you can. Can I? May I? Am I allowed to? Can I? Can I? K, like ka, ka, ka. Can. Can. Try to widen your mouth. Can. It's not it's a. Can I? Can I? Imagine you're falling. Can I? Can I? And then this, it's not E, it's I, right? I. Can I? Can I? Can I? Can I? I, you see? And then the question mark, can I? If you want to sound questioning, then you bring the pitch up a little at the end of the word. Can I? Desu ka? Can I? Hopefully that answers your question. Thank you very much. NP350, thank you for the super. Arigato. Came here to learn English. Mr. Hako, who's teaching me, is so cool. My ears are in heaven. Hopefully it's not too distracting and you can still learn just a little bit. Okay? But thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Okay. So, let's talk about the difference between e and e. I is I, yes. So, I is pronounced the same as I. You see my eye? I blink, I wink, my eye. Same sound. I, which makes no sense. Y is E-Y-E. It looks like it should be E, but it is pronounced I. For some reason, it is pronounced I. Yes, I am confused by it too. So, 11 elephants eagerly eat Easter eggs. Eleven. V. Eleven. This is tough. Eleven. 11. Ella. Eleven. All of these E's are sounds. Like eleven. F. If you didn't know, PH is f. Like the Philippines mentioned. F. Hu, fu. F. Elephant. A-N. Unts. Elephants. So this A, elephant, is not elephant, it is elephant. It's more of a sound. Elephant, elephant. 11 elephants. Eagerly. Eagerly. Li. See the Y? E. Eagerly. Eleven elephants. Eagerly. Easter eggs. Eat. Eagerly. Easter. St. This is the S sound from C. S. T. St. Ease. T. To. Ta. To. Easter. T. Egg. G. Two consonants. Double consonant. Eggs. 11 elephants eagerly eat Easter eggs. Eleven elephants eagerly eat Easter eggs. 11 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 elephants eagerly eat Easter eggs. That's a hard one. Eggs. Well done. Very good. Very good indeed. Now I saw a question earlier. Let's talk about this. So we talked about can, right? Can. But the opposite. Can't. Contraction or abbreviation for cannot. Can not. I can do it. I can not do it. Somehow, when these are contracted, combined, yes, you could say cannot as two words, but mostly it is one word, cannot. I cannot believe that. Usually, this is the formal alternative, cannot, or more emphatic. It is used for emphasis. Cannot. However, when put together, when contracted, can't. K, a, n, t, can't. Can, can't, cannot. It's a tough one. Can, can't, cannot. Why is it can, cannot, and then can't? Nobody knows. But that's how you pronounce them. I don't make the rules, I just let you know about them. Let's talk about I. Ivy, I'd, Ivors, Ivory, idle in the ivy. I, v, e, I, v, ivy. I, d, ivy, I'd, ivors, ivory, idle in the ivy. So, ivy, I'd, ivors, ivory, ivory, ivor, or, vor, ivor, ivory, very, ivory, ivors, ivory. You see? Now why is it ivor and not ivory, but it's ivory? Nobody knows. Sweden, thank you for the super. Can't can sometimes sound like the slang word cunt, so I was wondering if there's anything important to keep in mind. Yes, that's a good question. We'll finish this tongue twister and then I'll get to a question. And Mikeyama Mikeo, thank you for the gifted as well. Arigato. Ivors, ivory. Idle, dull, idle, idle. Me, idle, idle. In the, remember th, th, in the, ivy, name of a woman, ivy, plant, ivy, I'd, ivors, ivory, idle in the ivy. Ivy-eyed, ivors, ivory, idle in the ivy. V. Yes. To make a V sound, you need to bring your bottom lip backwards. Bring the bottom lip below your teeth, behind your teeth. V, V, F, 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 V, V. An F sound is light. F, 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 F. Just blow air while biting on your bottom lip gently. F, F, F. Bring your bottom lip back. F, F, F. V, V, V. You need to just add depth. V, 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 V. V, Vox. V. F and V sound similar, but V is a stronger sound. V, V, F, V, V. If you pout your lips a little, it will sound more like a V. But if your lips are relaxed, it will sound more like an F. F, V, F, V. Okay? Ivy-eyed, ivors, ivory, idle in the ivy. 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 Now, yes, this is a common worry, but it's okay. So, in English, the most rude word that we have, really, if we're not talking about slurs, is the word cunt. It is very, very rude in the UK. It is exceptionally rude in America, and it's kind of rude but not really in Australia. It sounds like a lot of other words. Cunt, can't, can't. So this is a distinct whereas this is ah. It is a longer sound. Ah, ah, ah. They are similar, but remember, don't panic. People will know that you're not trying to do anything wrong. Can't. Well, it is rude in Australia, but people call their friends this word all the time in Australia. You might say, "G'day, cunt," in Australia, but not elsewhere. Only use it with your friends, okay? So, remember, this is extremely rude. Cunt, can't, is a very normal word. So how do you tell them apart? Just use this in a sentence, because this is a noun. It is an insult, whereas this, I don't even know what you'd call it, to be honest. It's a contraction. So let's say in an example, you would just say, "I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it." Even if you make a mistake and you say, "I can't believe it," people will understand what you mean. They likely will not be offended. So my advice is to not worry, but remember, it's sort of like whereas this is Yes, if you are afraid, saying cannot is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. It's easier to say I cannot believe it. Very good. Very good. I can't believe it. Oh, very cute. Well done. Very good. Okay, let's do some more, shall we? I like this one. Crouching cautiously. Common, collected, curious crickets. Crouching cautiously. Common, collected, curious crickets. Crouching cautiously. Common, collected, curious crickets. Crouching, 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 cautiously, sh. Let's talk about this. Cautiously. This is not courteous. It is cautious. Why? Nobody knows. Cautious, cautious. Core, C-A-U, core, core, like core, she, us. Cautious. T-I can sometimes B-A-S-H, sh sound. Shus, cautious, cautious, cautious. cautiously, li, L-Y, li. Crouching cautiously. Carmen, name, Carmen. Collected, collected. Curious crickets. Have you been practicing your L sound? Collected. 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 Curious. It is not curious, it is curious. Curious is pronounced Q-ri-us. Curious, curious, curious. Crickets, easy. See the I, I. Crick, crickets, crickets. Crickets, crickets, crickets. Let's say it together. Crouching cautiously. Carmen collected curious crickets. Crouching cautiously, 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 Carmen collected curious crickets. Calm and collected. Still don't quite understand how to pronounce the L in wheel, world, temple. Sounds similar to O, and L in world sounds like R. I see. So, let's do the word world. World. So, world. Were. 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 The R is an sound. Old, world, old. So, in world, you focus on the L sound. World, world, world. World sounded like word. Well, it does a little bit. Let's take the word word. Word. World. Word. 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 World. World. You just add in the L sound. World. World. Word. Word. World. Keep the tip of your tongue on the ridge behind the upper teeth, letting out a slight l. That's right. Don't turn it into a separate sound. You have the technique for a l, the dark L you describe it as. L. Usually, when I pronounce the letter L, I sort of l. I say l and then bring my tongue down. La. World. world. So, if you were saying la, you would bring your tongue up to behind your teeth and you would go la, la, la. But in world, you would say wa, and then l. Remember what you taught yourself? Tongue behind the teeth, l, 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 o, da. L and D together, right? Olda, 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 olda. Wa, olda, 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 olda. Flick the tongue down when you say da. Worlda, worlda, worlda. Does that make sense? Olda, olda, up and down, olda. Well done, well done. How to pronounce in an American accent? Remember, the easy way to speak American versus the British English is to take the R sounds. So instead of R and world, you would say roll your R's, like you're a dog, world, 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 raindrop, world, unfurled, burly, 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 world, the world, world, world. Imagine an imaginary menagerie manager managing an imaginary menagerie. Can you say rural? Rural, 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 rural. So, back to this. Not j, imagine. G and J sounds sometimes sound the same. G can be g, but it can also be j, and J can also be j, but it cannot be g. Imagine an imaginary menagerie, Imagine an imaginary menagerie manager. So every G here is a J sound, a j. Imagine, imaginary, menagerie, manager. Yes, a menagerie is a place where animals are kept and trained for exhibition. It's a good definition. Menagerie manager, managing an imaginary menagerie. Generi, menagerie, manager. Again, remember, sometimes you won't know whether it's a g sound or a j sound, and that's okay. Most people are very understanding, and when you make a mistake, that is how you learn. If you speak to someone and you make a mistake and say imaginary, menagerie, they will probably know that you are learning and will try to help. So again, don't worry. You're doing great. Imagine an imaginary menagerie manager managing an imaginary menagerie. Imagine an imaginary menagerie manager managing an imaginary menagerie. Imagine an imaginary menagerie manager managing an imaginary menagerie. That one's hard. Why don't we do another fun one, eh? We did this one earlier. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. But this one will keep going. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Oops. So, Peter Piper. Peter Piper. We've been through this before. We've studied this one before. Let's see how well you do with these R sounds. Pete, pipe, picked a peck of peppers. Yes. Pete, Usually, an E towards the beginning of a word after a consonant is an E sound, but an E before a consonant at the end of a word, particularly ER, But here, peck, sound, E sound, sound. So, all you have to do is go through slowly and learn. It's hard, but I know you can do it. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Yes, a peck is like a grouping of peppers, a collection. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers. Blah, blah, blah. This is hard. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. This is hard. This is hard. I'm gonna try it. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers? This one is hard. This one is so hard. I want you to try it too, okay? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Peter Piper picked a peck of Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? So close, so close, so close. Yes, this is very difficult stuff. It is very difficult. Today, I'm just here to help you with pronunciation. You don't need to understand what a peck of pickled peppers is, but all of you are doing very well, okay? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? So, if it makes you feel any better, I'm having a little bit of fun doing these because I am native and I know this language well and it's fun and I understand it's probably fun for you too. But remember, how many of you got a chance to see the Overture Daytime stage at NIJIFES last year? Anyone here excited for NIJIFES 2026? Excited for concerto? Well, just remember that I had to sing an awful lot of Japanese songs there, and learning how to pronounce those was very, 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 very hard. I spent so long learning how to pronounce those songs, and Japanese music is very, very difficult for me to understand. If you struggle with this, I promise I struggle with learning how to sing in Japanese so much. It is very, very hard. Especially when written in Romaji. I'm not fast enough at reading hiragana or furigana to sing without Romaji. All it is for me is listening to the song 100,000 times to try and bury the sound of it in my head. Sometimes learning languages is hard because they weren't designed to be learned. They weren't designed to be learned. They just are this way. Long ago, someone somewhere said the word piper for the first time, and it became a part of English. English wasn't designed for it to be learned, so anyone who learns English has done very well at digging deep and understanding something that was never meant to be easy to understand. So I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, but I'll be back, and when I am, let's have some questions, okay? Anything that you might want to know, just let me know, okay? Feel free to have a relax and talk amongst yourselves for a minute, okay? But make sure to keep the noise down. Let's not disturb the other classes, all right? Very good. Well done. scream, don't panic, it's me. Don't mean to make you jump. Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing? Right, class, settle down. Right, class, settle down, settle down. Right, class. How am I? Doing wonderfully. Angelia, thank you for the Aku Super. It's lovely to see you again. I miss you too. If you have a moment, would you be willing to say Supercalifragilistic. I could do the whole thing. Thank you very much. Aini. I miss you too. I hope you've been doing well, sweetheart. Oh, and Avis, thank you for the gifted. I missed that. Thank you very, very much for the gifted. I missed you too. It's supercalifragilistic, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilistic. So all of you can rest assured. Let me spell it on screen. Supercalifragilistic. You're going to be very pleased to know that this is not a real word. You will never need to spell this word nor learn how to pronounce it. It is from the film Mary Poppins, and it's a very good film. I would highly recommend it. Love Dick Van Dyke and Julie Andrews, very nice. But yes, this is a fun song that sort of makes fun of, because the thing is, all of these individualists, all of these on their own, they all sound like real words. Super is a real word. Califragilistic. Listic appears in lots of words. Fragile. California, fragile, fragilistic. Expedition, experience, alidocious, precocious, all kinds of good words just jumbled up into this big English soup. Supercalifragilistic, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, bad, atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious, intelligent for your age, showing fast improvement, very good for a beginner. You're precocious, aren't you? Supercalifragilistic. Hippopotamonstrosesquipedaliophobia. How do you? I don't know if even I know how to pronounce that. Hippopotamonstrosesquipedaliophobia. Hippopotamonstro sesquipedalio. Hippopotamonstrosesquipedaliophobia, which ironically is the fear of long words, and that is a very long word. So, would any of you like to be taught a specific word? Is there anything in particular that gives you some trouble? Or should we keep going with more tongue twisters? It's up to you. Class, this is your time. I'm putting the floor to you, handing over the chair to you. Yes, why does it start with hippo? Maybe hippocampus, hippo, I don't know. Professional writer. That's a good one. Professional writer. Tender Dream, thank you very much for the 10 gifted. Thank you, darling. Thank you very, very much. Professional writer. Professional writer. So this is a confusing word. Let's break it down. Pro, this is easy. It's why professional is often shortened to pro. Pro, 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 pro. Now, fesh. This is pronounced with the I-O, fesho. It's not fesio, it's fesho. Fe, and the two S's, S-S-I-O, sh. This is pronounced sh. Professional. Very confusing, right? I know. Professional. Professional. This is confusing. Why is the double S a sh sound? Nobody knows. Professional. Professional. Next, writer. Writer has a W for no reason. Writer. It is pronounced right. It's more like rye. Rye, like rye bread. Rye. Writer. Professional writer. The W is silent. Yes, the W is completely silent. Writer. Professional writer. To spell this word, you must be a professional writer. Professional writers often write professional words. Professional writer. Professional writer. Worcestershire. So, looking at this word, this is a county in the UK, in England. Worcestershire. You might think it's pronounced Worcestershire. Worcestershire, but that is not correct. The correct pronunciation is Worcestershire. 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 Ster. This is not pronounced Cester, it is ster. Worcestershire. Worcestershire. And real locals pronounce it Worcester. Worcester. Worcestershire. 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 My friends and I, we come from Worcestershire. 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 My favourite thing to have on me chips is Worcestershire sauce, but most people talking about the sauce just pronounce it Worcester sauce. Worcester sauce. Aye, that'd be alright, a bit of Worcester sauce. I'm doing a northern accent right now. Don't bother learning different regional accents, just stick to received pronunciation. The way I'm speaking right now, the way you imagine a British person to speak, that is called received pronunciation, often described as the BBC accent. Just stick to this to keep things simple, because words change a lot with regional dialects. Many people from England can't understand people from different parts due to their accent, but everyone understands this received pronunciation. If anything, received pronunciation is the best type of English to learn because they find it very impressive in America. It's widely agreed to be the most correct form of English. Exactly. Worcestershire. Here's a fun fact for you. A very famous, very British, very sad film called Kes by Ken Loach came out in the 60s. When was Kes released? 1969. So this film is very unique because what Ken Loach likes to do is to let the actors improvise. He will hire actors who are local and who can give you a good feeling that you are really in that location. Many scenes have real people from the north of England speaking to each other in their own voices, their own accents, their own regional dialect. So, when the film was a massive success and was released in America, American audiences wanted subtitles because the northern accents were incredibly difficult for them to understand. They all spoke English, but the northerners had such a unique way of talking that they were so difficult to understand. What about phenomenon? That is a fantastic word. Phenomenon. 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 Remember what we said about PH sounds? Phenomenon. Phenomenon. It's a complicated looking word, but it's a lot of fun to say. Phenomenon. Michael Jackson's career was a phenomenon. Or you could say the plural, phenomena. Phenomena. Scientists observe natural phenomena around the world. Phenomenon. Or to say something is a phenomenon, you could say it is phenomenal. 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 Do you pronounce the last N? Yes. Phenomenon. Since the times of ancient Greece, in the Odyssey, Agamemnon is is a phenomenon. Bars. Statistic. That's a good word. Well done, that's a good word. Statistic. Statistics. Meaning a number or piece of data. Statistics. 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 If you wanted to say the adjective, statistical. 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 That's a good one, actually, Wallflower. That's a good idea. Let's talk about that for a second. Work, walk. So, work, it looks like walk, but actually it's pronounced k. Work, 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 It's more like worker, like this. Worker, work, 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 work. Whereas walk, W-A-L-K, is pronounced walk, 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 walk. Work, walk. When I think about the word walk, I like to think of it as walk. You don't pronounce the L here. The L is silent. But if you say walk, you can sort of silently say the L. Think about it like this. Instead of saying walk, walk, as in walk, walk, you can instead say walk, 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 and bring your tongue like you're about to say an L sound, but don't. Walk, walk. Your tongue will go out, but you won't make the L sound. You won't walk, 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 walk. Just the same, yes, as talk, talk, walkie, talkie, walkie, talkie. Walk, talk. A lot easier to understand is folk. Well, I say it's easier to understand. Folk, as in folks, as in a people. You could say, hello folks, folk, what's going on? Or folklore, folk tale, folk. It's pronounced folk, folk, folk. There's no L, it's not folk, it's folk, folk, folk. It's, and again, much like cunt and can't, folk and fuck. If you try to say folk, but accidentally say fuck, I'm sure based on the context, people will understand. Folk, if you say, I've been reading about fuck-lore, they will understand that you mean I've been reading about folklore. Fuck-lore, folklore, fo, Remember to bring your lips together. Fo, o, folklore, folklore, folklore. But if you want to say fuck, it's fuck, fuck, fuck. That's your piece of fan service for the day. Oh, this is good, actually. Here's another tongue twister for you. Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. So, Irish. 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 It's like saying I wish, but with an R. Irish. Irish. Wrist. The W, like in writer. Do you remember writer? Wrist. 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 Irish. Wrist. Watch. Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. This is a very difficult word to say. Irish wristwatch. 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 It just becomes Irish wishwash. I wish wishwash. I wish wishwash. It's tricky. There are lots of silent letters in English that are difficult to learn. But it could get worse. Sometimes people say Swiss wristwatch afterwards as well. Irish wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch. 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 This is very hard. I don't think I can even do one repetition of this. It's very hard. Irish wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch. Irish wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch. Irish wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch. This is hard because you see, wristwatch, a watch, a clock for the wrist. Wristwatch, 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 wristwatch. Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch. Swiss wristwatch, Swiss. This is wi ri wa Swiss wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch. This is Irish wristwatch. Ri wa Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch. Fuck. Irish wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Swiss wristwatch. See? I'm getting a little obsessed because this is hard. But to those of you who maybe managed it, well done. You've got ch sounds in here, you've got silent W's. Well done. This is hard stuff. Now here we go. This is something interesting to learn. Okay, let's take a look. Quickly, quiet quails quiver in the quarry. Q's, mind your P's and Q's. Qu. Now a Q is almost always followed by a U. Q. This makes the sound Q. Q, 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 K-Y-U. Katakana, Q. essentially they are the same exact sound. Q, Q, Q. Qu, quickly. Qu, 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 Q, Q. So, for quickly, que, que. Now, sometimes it might be closer to ku, like this. In this case, instead of Q, it's kui, 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 quickly, ku, 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 almost like kua, 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 kua. You see? Kua, quickly, 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 ku, ku, q, q, quickly, quickly. So the L's, so this already is a very difficult word to say. Quickly, 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 quickly. So when you see a Q and a U, quick, 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 quickly. Quiet, quiet, quiet. So we saw quickly, quick, ku, kui. Same with quiet. Ku, quiet, quiet. Ku, quiet is ku-I-et. Quiet, quiet, quiet. See, this is the confusing part. Quickly, I here is an I sound. I, I, I. But here it is an I sound. Quiet, quiet, quickly, quiet. Like I've said before, English spelling it will rarely tell you exactly how to pronounce a word. Just get stuck in, experience the language, watch films, read, and slowly but surely, I promise you will learn all of them. Quickly, quiet, quails. Oh, that's true, actually. Quiet. Quiet. Thank you for the correction, yes. Quiet. Quick. 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 Quiet. Quickly. Quiet. Quails. Another change. Quail. Ku. A. Quail. 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 Quick. Quiet. Quail. Quit. Kui. Kuei. So the AI here, A sound. A. Quail. Quick. Quickly. Quiet. Quails. Now I know you all love this word. Quiver. Quiver. Oop. Quiver. 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 Nana, thank you for the super. Want to understand your English? Good luck, you're doing very well. I like your English a lot. It's okay to be nervous. Daisuki desu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Listen, a very wise person once told me, if you're scared, you don't want to do something. but if you're nervous, you do. That nervous feeling is a good one. It's okay to be nervous. You're learning a lot. Well done. Well done. Quiver, meaning to shake. Quiver, quiver. Quick, quiet, quail, quiver. Quick, quiver. This is the same. Kui, 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 kui. In fact, I'll make this easier for you. Kui, kui, kui. Quick, quiver. Qui, 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 qui. See? U-I-C-K. Qui, 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 qui. Easy. In the. This is easy. In the. Practice that TH sound again. The. In the. Quarry. Quarry. Ku. Wa. Ri. Quarry. 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 A place for digging up stones. Quarry. Quick, quiet, quail, quiver, quarry. 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 Quickly, quickly, quiet quails quiver in the quarry. 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 You understand what I'm saying? Very good. Now, I saw someone else ask, Q. This is a very mean, evil, nasty word. Very evil to expect people to understand this word. Q. Q. The line. The waiting line. The queue. It looks like it should just be Q, but it is UE, UE. Q. Q, Q. It's just Q. That's it. It's just Q. Q. You see Q, UE, UE, Q. Don't let it scare you. Q. Quilt. That's a good word. Quilt. A blanket. Pronounced qu, qu, que, que, alt. Alt. Quilt. 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 It's more like quilt. Quilt. Well, yeah. Alt. Quilt. 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 Oh, that's mean. That's mean. Key. So you look at this. This word is pronounced key. It's a key that you would use to unlock something. The key to your door. My car keys. Key. K-E-Y. E. Key. Sometimes E is pronounced E, and sometimes Y is pronounced E. Together, this makes sense. Key. Key. Simply enough, it is key. 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 Or just key. However, sometimes it is spelt quay. And you might think that that is pronounced ku, way, ku-way, ku-way. Wrong. You see this spelling? This is not for a key at all. It is actually pronounced key, because this is a door key, car keys, but this is a somewhere, ships, moor. It's a type of seaside. It's somewhere by the beach. What is the specific? I think it's sort of like an inlet. Yes, it's a platform along the edge of a harbour. Spelt quay, but pronounced key. So these two words are pronounced the exact same, but this means for a door key, and this means a ship platform. It makes no sense. A dock, yes, a dock. Key. There was a book I read once, a book I read because it was on the syllabus at the school I was teaching. A book I read, and part of the mystery was about people trying to find a skeleton key. Skeleton key. And they thought the skeleton key was, oh, it is a key to unlock a door or a chest. But really, it was mispronounced or misspelt. Actually, they are looking for the skeleton key, which is a place where the villains are hiding. Key. Yes, if you are feeling confused, that's okay. There is stuff in the English language that confuses me too. But we're all learning. Every day we learn. Yes, I used my key to lock my boat at the quay. I used my key to lock my boat at the quay. This makes perfect sense. Photographer. Sure, let's talk about that. Photographer. So, those of you who might be from Vietnam, pho. This is also how it is pronounced in photographer. Now, when you say photo, you would say photo. Photo. But in photographer, it's more like photographer, like the noodles. Pho. Tog. Ra. Pho. Photographer. Any Viet, can we get it? Can we get a thumbs up? So it's like pho noodles. Pho. First time I ever had pho was in Oxford, actually, and it was very good. The strange thing is that I've always liked coriander, but then when I had it at pho, I had it with pho, rather, it tasted like soap, and ever since I've not really been so into coriander. Pei-chan, thank you very much for the 5 gifted. Arigato. Well done today. Pho. So remember what we said. PH is a F sound. PH is the same as F. PH, F. F, for both. Just the same. F. Like Psycho Killer. F. Tog for tog. F, tog. Tog. F, tog. Ruff. Remember, like a dog? Ruff. F, tog, ruff. So let's say rough, photographer, photographer, photographer. Well done. Now, how about photography? Very similar. Photography, the art of taking photographs. Photography. Photography. Wonder if I could try spelling it out in katakana. Photography. Photography. Or it could be photography. 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 The difficulty, I think, is in taking katakana where the sounds are very isolated and remembering to bring them together. Photography. 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 But instead of to-gu-ra-phi, photography. 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 The hard part, I think, especially for non-Romanized languages or people from those parts of the world trying to learn English, is that in Japanese, for example, let's take katakana. Each character is a sound. Ha, hu, 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 ho, ho, to, gu, ra, hu, I. Hu, to, gu, ra, hi. Whereas in English, for example, every letter with every other letter makes a unique sound. So on its own, P, P. It can be P or P. P, P is P or P. P, P. But then suddenly you add a H and it becomes F, F, F. And then you add an O and it becomes fo, f-o, fo, 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 photo, photo, with 5 different letters, 2 sounds, photo. But with katakana you would say hoto, 2 characters, hoto, hoto, ho, photo, photo. This is the hard part, but as soon as you begin to understand how these different letters can work together, it will be, I think it's okay to learn, because there are only 26 letters in the English alphabet. Some other languages like French or Spanish have accents or extra bits, but in English you worry about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. This is the entirety of the English language consists only of these. All you have to do is learn these letters. You can see them all already. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, for God's sake, K, L, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. The letters don't want to behave, do they? But you're a much better class. You're being far more well-behaved than Google Docs is at the moment. Maybe we should go through each of the letters and talk about what they can potentially sound like. So, for A, you've got sounds like ah, 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 ah. You also have ah. It's ah or ah, ah. I'm not sure how to convey the difference in pronunciation for ah versus ah. So let's say that the default, just A on its own, is ah, 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 whereas it could also be ah, ah, ah. It's ah or ah, 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 ah. And then sometimes when it's with an AI, it could be a, ah, 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 a, ah, ah, a, ah, ah, a. I don't know if that's an exhaustive list, but it might be good enough. B or B, 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 B. C, it can be a S, 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 or K, 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 S, K. For example, it could be circle, circle, S, 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 circle, or it can be K, 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 cup, cup, can't, cunt. Oral exam, you see me after class. The nerve on you students, bloody hell. D. It could be D or D, 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 D. D, 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 D. Now E. You can have E, 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 or you can have E, 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 E. Sometimes with an R, it can become right? E, 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 How about F? F is easy. It is F, 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 F. If in a word it is ever given an E, then it becomes F, F, F. But otherwise, if you see an F on its own to begin a word, it starts F, F, first. Fright, fuck, right? G, it is G or it is G. G or G, G, G. Ground, great, ghastly, ghoul, a ghoul. Or G, Geronimo, imaginary, right? H, when in a word it is usually like you're breathing out. Ha, ha, ha. But sometimes it can just be H, 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 H. I. It can be I, it can be I, it can be E. I, E. Item, Ivan, Ivy, or it can be I. Despicable, inter, inner. Or it can be E. I'm struggling to think of any examples. Sometimes election, yeah, that's a good one. Idiot, idiot. Now that's a difficult one. You have I, ot. The I is I and E. Igloo, igloo, igloo. Very good. Immutable. It's fine. Illumination. J, J, J. J, 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 J. Quite simple. Jeans. Jive. Jank. Jut. J, J, J. Jam, Jimmy. K, K, K. K. Or K. K, K. K, K, K. Okay. Okay. Or craft. That's a C, isn't it? What's the word that begins with K? K. Some words ending in K. Carrot. There you are, as in gold. Carrot. Gold carrots. 24 karat gold. And you're right. You're right. I had forgotten, but you're right. That's a good one to bring up. Let's make that its own thing. KN. Maybe not. N. Now you might be confused by this, but often a K is silent. In Old English, the K was pronounced in these words, like what today we would say knife, knee, or night. Today, knackered. In the past, it was knife, knee, knight, knackered. Although I'm not sure if the word knackered existed back then. So if you see the word knife, if you see a K with an N, KN, a lot of the time it is silent and it's just N, night, knife, knee. L, 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 L. Laugh, loop, limb. You know, that's a good one to include. B sometimes is silent after an M. For example, limb. So if you have the letter B on the end of a word at the after an M, sometimes you will say limb, lamb. Exactly. Love. So yes, think about the word limb as in your arm or leg or any extremity on your body. It's spelt limb, limb, but we pronounce it limb, M, limb, right? Tomb, tomb, good. M, M or M, M, M. Middle, mark, muddy. M often comes with vowels before it. Empire, umbrage. Same as N. 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 Oncologist. Night. Nerve. Very good. Minutia. O. It can be a lot of different things. The vowels are where things get tricky. O, it can be O, 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 or it can be ow, like an A sound. A, O, U. Ow, ow, ow. O, ow, ow. Ouch, ouch. Usually when paired with a W or U. Ouch, ow. Owl, owl. Very good. We'll mark that down as ow, like this. O, ow, or just o. O, o, o. Or, yes, two O's together, ooh. Ooh. Ooh, like the U sound. Ooh, ooh, ooh. P is usually p, p, puppy, or with an H it is f, p, p, f, p, prince, pilot, P, or PH, Philistine, Philippines. Q, we've been over quite a lot. Q, Ku. Quo. Que. Q, ku, quo, que. Q, Q, Q. R can be R, like a pirate, or, oh yeah, we've got more of them. Que, quo, 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 que. R, R, R. Or it can be r, re, 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 r, r. Usually, if it's an ER, it'll be at the end of a word. Rather, rather, rather. S, like a snake. Or it can be sometimes, yes, I think this is most of what you really get, although if paired with an SH, if it's an SH, sh, s, sh, silent, snake, or, sorry, don't apologize, I thought it was funny. S, sh, s, sh. S, sh. T. So we can have t, t, or th when paired with a h. Th, 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 t, 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 th, th, th. That, these, them, then. You, like the tree, you, or just Th. Yes, good idea. Let's remind ourselves, how do we make the TH sound? Remember, tongue between your teeth, bring your teeth down gently and blow out some air. Th, V. Victor, victory, vicious. V-craft. W. W. Double U. W. W. Given its name because it used to be more curved and looked like two U's together. W. W. Sometimes silent. R. With an R it is silent. R. Or at the end of a word it could be O. Or. AW makes or sound. Or, just like or. OR. ORAW. Or. X. X is either X or, when pronounced, it's sort of a X sound. X. However, sometimes at the beginning of a word, it's a Z sound. Z. Xylophone. Xavier. Xavier is interesting. Any Xavier fans in here? Xavier is interesting because it's both. Xavier. Y. It's Y, or it's Y, yogurt. Yurt. Yam. Or it's E at the end of a word, or it's li at the end of a word. Quickly. Badly. Greatly. Li. Y adds a lot. A. I. E. A. This is a confusing one. And lastly, Z on its own page at the bottom. Z. Z. Zero. Zaddy. So that's a lot of the different ways that all the letters in the alphabet can be used. Yeah, it looks really confusing at first glance, but just take a little bit of time to read through this and to memorize just a few of the different ways that all of these letters might turn up. S, sh, r, While Japanese, Chinese, and a lot of Asian languages might have many more characters to learn, English has many different combinations of few letters, which makes it quite tough to learn. However, all of you are doing very well today, following along with the lesson and learning as best as you can. Ichiko, thank you very much for the super. My English pronunciation isn't very good. Sometimes I find myself at a loss for words. I'd like to know how I can pluck up the courage. I'll tell you how you can pluck up the courage. Let's say you're going on a trip to England. If you're going on a trip to England, you might encounter some people who might, in their mind, make fun of you because you don't have the best pronunciation. That's okay. You see, those people who think and say that about you are quite likely to visit your country one day as well. You see, I'll never forget going to Japan for work a couple of years ago and being on the subway changing trains. And there was a British tourist there who was speaking with one of the railway staff. Didn't hear what they were talking about, but he tried to say thank you. He said, "Origato. Origato." Now you and I can think about that and be like, ugh, how foolish. But he is learning, just like you are. Origato. Arigato. So, it might not always be easy, but all of those people would be in the same boat. Any polyglot, someone who speaks very many or all languages, polyglot, anyone with that much experience probably doesn't make fun of people who don't speak those languages, because they have learned just how hard it actually is. If you, and I would love it if you could, because I love my home country, I love England very much, I think it's a beautiful place, and I would love for you to experience it, just by learning a little bit. Any nice person is going to be patient with you, and is going to want to help you. Please, don't let your fear stop you from experiencing all the great things that life has to offer. When I go to Japan, some of the best times I've had have been in Japan, and I really don't speak much of any Japanese. But I try. That's the difference. Right now, by being here, you are trying. You are trying to learn, and people can tell. When I go into 7-Eleven and I want to order nanachiki, I have this memorized, and I will say, "Sumimasen, nanachiki red o hitotsu onegai shimasu," and they say, "Hi, onegai shimasu," and they go and bring it out, and then I don't know what they mean when they're asking for payment. Whether they say cash, card, I don't know what that phrase is. So I just sort of, after that point, I just kind of nod and go, "Hi, onegai shimasu. Hi, onegai shimasu." I don't actually know what I'm agreeing to. I just say yes, and I remember to smile, and I remember to bow, and that's all. I have not, thankfully, not had any unfortunate, or I've never felt like I have upset a local in Japan, because I feel like I show them that I'm trying my best to learn the language. I remember when I went to the doctor and I tried to ask, and they said, "We do not speak English," and I appreciated that they took the effort to say that in English. So I said, "Gomenasai," and we smiled and bowed. In England, most of the time it will be the same. If you try to say hello, but you can't, you sort of say, you can't pronounce it right, people will understand. Especially outside of London. I think the further outside of London you go, I'd say go to the West Country. People tend to be very patient in the West Country and in the North as well. So, if you'd like me to recommend, actually, so there's a place in England, because I think that we've learned a lot today, and I think we should wrap up soon. Also, there was a let me thank this very quickly, make sure I don't miss this. JP English Learner, thank you for the super. Glad you felt like you learned a lot. Very different muscles. It is very difficult, but you've done so well. Gamba, my student, very, very well done. Being called sensei is cool. But anyway, in the UK, there are lots of places managed by something called the National Trust. The National Trust purchases and then opens up national places, usually places of natural beauty. And you can go to these places for a ticket price or with a membership, and they are well worth experiencing if you like English history and if you like walking through nature. My favorite of these places is called Stourhead. Has anybody here heard of Stourhead? How do you pronounce it? Our head. Stourhead. Anyone here, are you a fan of Jane Austen? Pride and Prejudice? Well, if you have seen the 2005 Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden, Stourhead is where the Confession in the Rain was filmed. It is a very beautiful national site and you can learn an awful lot. I promise that a lot of tourists come to Stourhead. A lot of tourists, I understand, statistically, most of you are from Asia, but many of you are from Latin America as well as other parts of Europe. I promise that no one at Stourhead would find your English to be difficult. If you try and if you smile, no one there is going to give you trouble. I promise. Add it to your bucket list and see what you can do if you do go to the UK. I would love it if anyone here is learning. If you want to take a trip to the UK, I would love to hear about your trip. I would love to, next time we do a lesson, if you have been on any of these lessons or on any of my streams, if you let me know that you took a holiday to the UK, I'd love to hear about what you did. That would make me very, very pleased. Angelia, thank you very much for the super. Hanging on your every word. It's a good phrase. I love it. When you have a moment, would you be up for trying to say, oh, God, okay. Aini, baby, thank you. I love you too. Listen, let me try this. Oh, my Lord. So, PN. Sometimes when a P is in front of an N, it is silent also. So this is just new. Pneumono ultra microscopic volcanoneosis. Pneumono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoneosis. I think that's it. Pneumono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoneosis. Volcanoconiosis. I see. Pneumono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Pneumono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Volcanoconiosis. Pneumono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Volcanoconiosis. Pneumono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Boom! I'm so good. I'm so fucking good. Pneumono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. There you go. Is it a medical word? It sounds like a geography word. Pneumono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis is a 45-letter word. A chronic, it is a medical term, you're right. It's a chronic lung disease caused by inhaling very fine silica or quartz dust, particularly from volcanoes. It was coined in 1935 to be the longest word. And usually a doctor will not say this to you. It's sort of, it exists, but most people do not use it. And they will use, and the doctors will say silicosis, usually, to describe it. But I like this word. Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silico volcanoconiosis. Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silico-volcanoconiosis. But I am sure, you see, it might. I enjoy saying these words quickly, and I know it seems impossible to you, many of you, but when I hear people in other languages talk, I am totally lost. I don't understand a single word of it, and I just sort of listen out. When I am at 7-Eleven and then they start talking, I just get my credit card out, and then if I hear the word hukuro, I go, "Hi, onegai shimasu," because I know that hukuro means plastic bag. Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silico-volcanoconiosis. What is the longest word in the English? Is that it? Yeah, pneumono-ultramicroscopic silico-volcanoconiosis. There's also that the other one we did, monstrosesquipedaliophobia, supercalifragilistic expialidocious. There is, of course, hypoparathyroidism, pseudo-hypoparathyroidism, pseudo-hypoparathyroidism, floccinaukinihilipinification. I don't know how to pronounce that. Floccinaukinihilipilication. And then, of course, my favorite long word that is actually easy to pronounce once you learn it, anti-disestablishmentarianism. Let's try it. Let's clear the formatting on this one. How do I clear the formatting on this? Get me back on EB Garamond, please. I like this font. How do I get rid of the highlight? There it is. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Anti meaning against, disestablishment as in the erasure or destruction of an establishment, Arianism meaning a study related to the former. So, disestablishment Arianism. The establishment in this context refers to the church. So, if you're an anti-disestablishmentarianist, you would be someone who is opposed to the disestablishment of the church. So, Hakuma, thank you very much for the super. Glad you enjoyed the lesson today. It is difficult to improve, but hopefully you can come back to this lesson every now and again and work on it. And of course, I'll keep teaching you as often as I can. Thank you very much. Arigato. It's good to see you again. Double negative. Well, see, the double negative is because you are not an establishmentarianist, because to be an establishmentarianist, you would be someone who believes in the building of a new church. You would want to establish a new church. However, disestablishment specifically is the removal of an establishment. Disestablishment. If you disestablish something, you need to remove something that has been established, right? But if you are anti-disestablishmentarianist, that means that you are against the removal of something that has already been established. In this context, it would be about the church. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Alright, this was a long lesson, and my mouth is getting quite tired, so I think I'm going to leave you there for tonight. But well done for learning quite so much. Well done for paying so much good attention. Good luck learning pronunciation. Good luck with everything. You have worked very, very hard today. I'm even going to write it down. Good luck. Good luck. You have done very, very, very well. Learning English pronunciation is very, very hard. It's not easy because there is so much inconsistency, so much pronunciation that makes sense in one place but not in another. Lots of old rules that don't make sense. But I promise, with time, you will come to understand the differences. They will just become easy, second nature. Watch English films, read English books, and then eventually, if you'd like, come to visit England, and I promise you, you will learn a lot about how this language works. Well done. Very lively. Thank you very much for the super. I panic every time I make errors in English. Betty Botter. I'm glad you like it. Love you too. Don't panic if you make an error, okay? Just keep going or apologize and then try again. What I feel is that as long as you smile and as long as you try, no one will ever be upset with the mistake you make with your English, okay? I can't speak for everyone, don't go to unsafe places, but I think most civilized people will always be understanding and patient. Angelia, thank you so much for the super. You're welcome, babe. Aini, love you too. Thank you all for the lesson today. Let's raid somebody, shall we? Who are we going to raid today? Who are we going to raid today? Suzunoa, thank you very much for the 20 gifted. Lovely to see you again. Thank you so much for the gifted. That is very, very kind. I hope you enjoyed the lesson today. Uki is live and doing a JP stream as well. Well, that's a good one to send you guys off to. All right. Thank you very much for the 20 gifted. Thank you so, so much. I hope you've had a good lesson. Nanase, thank you very much for the super. Arigato. I'm glad to help you learn, and I hope that we can learn a lot together. I love you too. So, I'm going to send you off to have some fun with Uki Mama now. Sunny, thank you for the super. Few simple words I'm interested to hear in your voice. Okay, I like these words. Aesthetic. Atheist. The Cheshire Cat. Paradigm. Verdict. Cucky. Licorice. Benevolent. Rural. Good words, very good words. Wolflad, thank you very much for the super. Good. I look forward to hearing it. Alright, I'll send you off. So go and say hi to Mama for me. Hopefully you guys have a good stream over there. Otherwise, if it's getting late for you, please get some good rest, relax, and have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Tomorrow will be another ASMR with a chilling story to go along with. I'll see you then. Love you all. Class dismissed. Is that all fine? Okay, good. Just making sure I didn't have anything from last ASMR still up on the ending screen. Alright, now get out of here.